7 people asked me the same question, which was, how did you guys meet? How did you guys start dating? We were boyfriend and girlfriend when we were younger. We started dating. I want to say, I wish I remembered the exact date, but it was 2001. It was the weekend after Thanksgiving, but I don't remember if it was a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I met Anthony in the park. I met him through friends. He's actually, I was friends with his cousins and stuff like that. I grew up with them. One of his guy cousins, his cousin, he was a good friend of mine at the time, and he told me like, hey, he has a thing for you. But I was what, 2001, I was like, what, 12, 13 years old, and I was like, whatever, like, okay. I was getting to the park, I was getting to the gym, I had a volleyball practice, we had like a volleyball tournament, and that day we were in the gym the whole day. We were there like for a good maybe 5 to 8 hours. It was like a back-to-back thing. So I was there all day at the park, and they were there all day. Once I was done with practice, my grandma lived across the street from the park, so I went, took a shower, got ready. I went back to the park just to hang around with friends. And you know, growing up in that area, like, everybody would come out and hang around. And I came, and he was there. He was always on a bike, so he was there in his bike, and he comes and he said, hey, let's take a walk. And I'm like, okay, like, all right, we'll take a walk. So I'm walking with him. I don't even remember what we were talking about at 12, 13 years old. I was 12, he was like 13. But we walked around. He's like, oh, let's sit down. I'm like, all right. We sat down, and then we're talking, and he's like, hey, he's like, I want to ask you something. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you want to go with me? And I said, go where? Like, we're already in the park. Like, where do you want to go? He's like, no. He's like, go with me. And I said, go with you. He's like, yeah, like be my girlfriend. It was kind of weird, not the way I expected somebody to ask me to be with them. But I was like, sure, you know. I always thought he was a handsome guy. Like, ever since I met him, I was like, oh, he's handsome, he's cute, you know. And I trip out because I always bring that up to him, and he gets so red and embarrassed, and I'm like, what made you like ask me like that? He's like, well, that's how I talk. He grew up in Compton, so his slang is like the way he says certain things. Sometimes I'm like, huh, what does that mean? And he's like, dang, I'm gonna have to lace you up. What does lace up mean? Like, what do you mean lace you up? He's like put you up on game. I'm like, well, clearly Compton, Book Gardens, they're only like 20 minutes away, and we have a whole different lingo. That is something that we always talk about, and we crack up. Well, he doesn't find it that funny. You know, we started dating young, but it was like, era mi novio de manita sudada. Like, it was like an innocent little, him going to juvenile hall when he got arrested for the case. I wrote him. He did not expect me to write him at all. But I was like, you know what? I don't know if I should write him. At that age, it's nothing serious, obviously, a relationship or you like communicating. I mean, at that point, my main focus was school. I was really into dance and volleyball. Like, it wasn't like I was like, oh yes, I'm here trying to have a full-on committed relationship. It wasn't like that. I was there from the beginning. When he got arrested, I wrote him. We were more like becoming best friends more than anything, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to see him. He was in juvenile hall for a year. I was still in high school, so I was a minor. There was no way I was going to go visit him. So my focus was just to be there for him as a friend. Of course, eventually we always had a connection since we were younger, so knew he was going to lead to that, and so did he. But like I said, I thought that he was coming home, so my initial thought was, we'll work on having a relationship once he's home. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. He went to the county. Once he turned 18, he went to the county And once he went to the county, I was still a minor at the time. So I would only get to see him every time he was in court. I would talk to him all the time. He would call me, he would write me. And once I turned 18 and I started visiting him in the county, my first time I ever visited him, he was in Wayside. I had just turned 18. And that weekend that I turned 18, I went to Wayside. I got lost. Wayside is so hard to find for a first time. And I took the drive. After that, I was there every weekend, and that's when our relationship actually became solid because it was more real at that point. We were seeing each other, we were writing each other more often. He was calling me every day. I remember I felt so bad because I had no idea what I was doing. He was calling my house clank, and I blew up my parents' phone bill. Came out to like $1,000. My parents were like, "What the fuck? Like, what the fuck?" I was like, sorry about that, guys. I had to close my door. My neighbors were being kind of loud. Um, but yes, my parents got their phone bill and they were like, "How did our bill run up so high?" And I was like, "I have no idea." And of course, I was terrified. I was scared of my parents. So then they called and they told them that it was collect calls. So my parents were like, "Collect calls? Like, the fuck? We don't accept no collect calls. Like, that is wrong, you know?" Like, and so they're like, "Oh, what we can do is we could block them." And my dad's like, "Yes, block them." Like, what the heck? And I was like, "No, why?" I was like, "Damn it." So at that point, he was able to get calling cards. Hey man, a year and a half of free calls after running up my parents' bill for like $1,000. I was like, I still feel bad about that. Once he hit reception, he went to Lancaster. When they're I don't know how reception works now, but how it was back then, reception, they're not able to call. All they're able to do is write while they're going through that process. So I remember it was taking forever for us to get mail back and forth. And then after that, he was in reception in Lancaster, which was close by. It's like an hour and 15-minute drive. And I was actually like an hour and a half. But I was hoping he would stay there. And at that time, I want to say they didn't have a level 4 yard at that time. So they ended up sending him to High Desert. High Desert is in Susanville. It is passing Reno. It's in California, but it's passing Reno. I remember the day he told me he was going to High Desert, I was like, how the hell am I going to do it? How am I going to get up there? But luckily, through a mutual friend, I met a friend who I ended up carpooling with. She became like family to me. And there's a couple of people that I ended up having to carpool with. And amazingly, like the people that I did carpool with were people that I trusted. Of course, there were people that I trusted, but there are people that I had genuine friendships with. Once he landed in High Desert, we had discussed like how our visitation was gonna work because I went from visiting him every weekend to being 11 hours away, and there was no way that I was gonna be able to be there every weekend. Absolutely not. At first, we both agreed that I would be there once a month, and if that wasn't possible, then once every other month. We were so used to in the county this whole time that he was fighting his case, we were used to him being behind glass. So the minute that I actually got to High Desert for the first time and I was able to hug him, kiss him, like feel him next to me, I knew that whole once every other month or maybe even once a month wasn't going to work for me to be apart from him for so long. So then that's where it became every 3 weeks, sometime every other week, and it was exhausting physically, mentally, financially. It was so exhausting, but it was something that I did and I don't regret. Because of it, he knows he had like my support, my full support. It made our relationship strong. He asked me to marry him over the phone and through a letter. Nothing special, but to me it was everything and all I needed. So right away he sent me the package. We filled out the package. I sent everything. I was on top of it. I was always calling the counselor like, "Hey, is my paperwork approved? Like, did you push it through?" They had a marriage coordinator in High Desert, so I was keeping in contact with her. So I make sure that the dates I wanted were open and stuff like that. So even getting married in prison was a mission. We finally got married April 11, 2009. like going to high desert was awful because it would snow out there. So driving in the snow, oh my god, having to put chains on your tires. There was this one time where there was avalanches, so we had to like stop midway, get a hotel, pull over. Like we couldn't even go through. I ended up showing up to visit like at the end of visit. I think I only got to see him 1 hour instead of the 8 hours that you get because we got snowed in. We were closed off. We could not see anything. It was horrible. And just the whole experience with high desert and then dealing with the high desert cops was horrible. Just they were so racist out there. So it was something I'm so glad it was over. So the minute he hit Corcoran, I was over the moon. I was like, heck yes. I started visiting him every weekend. Every weekend. Sometimes I would even go back. So I would drive up Saturday, 3 hours there. I would, stay for my visit. I would come back home 3 hours. And then on that Sunday, I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going back. So I would drive back 3 hours and stay for my visit and then come back and drive back another 3 hours. That was insane. There was times where I'm like, you know what? I know I'm gonna stay the weekend. Like I know I want to see him Saturday and Sunday. So I would call my cousins in Fresno and I'll be like, hey, can I stay over? And they'll be like, yeah, come, like, So I would go spend time with my cousins in Fresno. So go at that point, I would go to the visit, get out of the visit, drive an hour up to Fresno, kick it with my cousins. And the next morning on Sunday, get up, get ready, pack up, say goodbye to my family. I would drive and stop at Corcoran for my visit, and then I would come back home. That lasted a couple of months. I want to say maybe a good 8 to 10 months, and then after that, he landed in Lancaster. And when he landed in Lancaster, then there was not a single visiting day missed unless I had something going on, like a family event or anything or something like that. But other than that, I was there every single weekend. Saturday, Sunday, I was always there. I would even call my cousins that live in Palmdale and be like, hey, can I stay over? Just so I don't have to do the hour drive, that hour and 15-minute drive back and forth. And I would like stay at my aunt's house or my cousin's house and stuff, and go back the next day for visiting. So in Lancaster, that's where we started getting our family visits. You know what? In Lancaster, I have to say Lancaster, even though I did have certain bad experiences as well in Lancaster, they always made it so easy for me, like going in and out of my family visits. Everything I've ever taken, I don't think they've ever given me a hard time. It was a quick process. Everybody was in and out. They checked our stuff, pushed it through, got us to our family visit. He was always already there waiting for me. So they made everything fast. So my experiences there as for family visits were great. Like no complaints there. Regular visits always wanted to make me change. They were always on me, but that's always happened to me. Even when he was in high desert, they were always on me about my dress code. And I felt like it was personal. I was like, what is your problem? Especially when you get the female correctional officers, then most likely than not, there's something wrong with your outfit, even if there really isn't. And now my husband is 3 hours and a half away from me, so it's not that bad. So right now right now I can't visit him. Corona, there's no visits. But when the visits are on, I've been going every other week, once every other week, so one day every other week. I have stayed over. I have gone and I'm like, you know what? I want to see him tomorrow too. Like I will rent a hotel and just stay over and go back the next day, so I don't have to do the whole drive back and forth. But for the most part, I visit him one day, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, every other week. So once the visits go back to normal, depending on how the visits are going to be set up, then that's probably going to change a little bit. We're going to have to discuss how we're going to go about it at that point. But for right now, all I'm hoping for is to get our date for our family visit, because I was already packed and ready to go. I was already prepared. And then this whole coronavirus thing happened, so it kind of like put a toll. But I mean, Next month he goes to board. He goes to parole. If he's granted, we might not even get a visit. He might be even coming home before we get our visit. So I mean, that's even better, right? But if not, I mean, even if he was to get denied, at least we have that coming. And like I said, we're still gonna push through and hire an attorney and go through other methods to get him out. So either way, there's plans in the works. He's coming home regardless, but you know, the sooner that I try to get him home, the better. I've been through a lot, guys. I've been through a lot. My poor car has been through a lot. My car before that car has been through a lot. My credit cards went through a lot. The prison wife life, it's no joke, guys. It's all about commitment, you know, and having that time and having that mental state, because like, it's been hard. It's not easy, and I give it to everybody that's going through this, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment, and to go through that and put yourself through that, it has to be because the relationship is worth it. It has to be for something that, it has to be for a solid relationship. If you guys are feeling it, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that little bell so you're notified every Sunday and Wednesday when I post my videos, and give me a thumbs up. You guys, I'm so sorry. I was working on editing the video and I get a call saying that my horses are acting up. Apparently my horse is in heat. So I have to go deal with this, and it's gonna take me from editing. But I will edit, you guys, and upload as soon as possible. I am gonna show you guys, since I'm sharing all this information with you guys, I figured might as well kind of show you guys what my crazy horses did. My poor baby. Oh my god. No manches, Dad.
La mordió de las nalgas.
¿La mordió?
Esta ya estaba separada.
Oh my god.
Quebró las dos puertas.
Quebró esa puerta y se metió acá. What is your problem, Oreo? What is your problem? Oh my god. Look it. See what you get for being bad? ¿Qué pasó, Dad?
Que se abrió esa puerta, la abrió.
Ajá.
La abrió la de arriba. Y como la miró, este cabrón se aventó y se llevó la puerta. Esta la despegó de aquí.
Oh my god.
Está despegada aquí las
Our
bisagras.
horses are not behaving.
Las bisagras están pegadas allá.
He was trying to molest you, baby.
Trae una mordida en la nalga y otra en la pierna abajo.
Está sangrando él tiene una cortada en la boca también él.
Nah, porque está mordiendo ahora acá, ligación, mira cómo tiene la madera. Ahora voy a tapar todo este pedazo, mira. Este pedazo todo, voy a tapar todo este pedazo. Ya no muerde de ningún lado, ahora muerde de aquí. Ahí está la mordida, jalando aire.
Oh my god, why? ¿Por qué no se pueden portar bien? Why can't you guys behave? Why? Make it so difficult for mom.
Arranqué el caballo así y me tronó la espalda.
¿Te tornó la espalda? Ay, papá. ¿Está bien herida de atrás?
No es una mordida, y la pierna de este lado, una mordida de la pierna,
muévete.
La pierna de adentro.
Sí.
La pierna por acá, por adentro.
Oh, my poor baby.
Son mordidas.
¿Cuánto duraron para enterarse que estaba así?
No, lo bueno que miraron luego, no fue mucho tiempo, ahí el ruidajo que traen.
Oh my gosh, he's taking a shit. Sorry, guys.
Después se fue con aquella, que se quiere meter con aquella también.
Oh, ¿sí?
Sí, fue cuando
Oh, ¿estaba abierto aquí? Oh my god, he's a savage.
Pero le puse unas chingadas que putiza, pues era de...
¿Le pusiste?
Bailando y caminando y corriendo. Ahorita ya la vi, pues ya bien cansada, la chingada.
Oh my god. See you guys? What do I need kids for when I have these two that can't fucking behave?
Ahorita ni pío dice el hijo de la chingada.
Cabrón. He's so cute, I can't even be mad at him. Well, you guys, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. And thank you so much for tuning in. And oh my God, once again, thank you guys so much for the love and the support. It's awesome. But nothing but positive vibes and love going your way. Have a good Sunday and see you in my next video.